Hello there. A friend of mine was checking out garage sales today, and he found a box of Star Wars stuff. So he gave me a call to see if I'd be interested. After what he told me it was, and what the price was, I told him, hey, I'll take it. Welcome to Unboxing the Boxes, my Star Wars collection. This is episode 215. A Star Wars garage sale find. Dozens of Star Wars novels. When Roger called me, he told me that there was this box of Star Wars books, about 23 of them. The cost, you're going to get a kick out of this, the cost was only $5. That's all. $5 for 23 Star Wars books. Well, I thought to myself, I have a lot of Star Wars books, most of them being pre-Disney books, and I kind of thought that these, if they're only $5 for 23 of them, were probably pre-Disney books. But I thought if there'd be one or two books in here that I do not have, that I have not read, that $5 would be well spent. Well, I picked up the box this evening. Imagine my surprise when Roger told me there wasn't 23 books in it. No, there was closer to 50 or more books in it for $5. 50 books, $5, that's a dime a book. Now, I have not looked in this box yet to see what's all in here. We're going to find this out together. So let's see if my $5 purchase was a good purchase or not. Now, one thing with the books is when I read a book, especially a paperback book, I'm very careful with my book. I handle it with care. And most of the time when I'm done reading it, there's very few signs that it's been read. Now, I know that's not normal. Most people break the bindings, roll the books up, and all kinds of different things. We have a thunderstorm going through town right now. So hopefully everything will stay lit. As you can see, we just had a little flash. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Actually, I'm back 3 days later from when I made the opening there. It turned out to be a little more than just a thunderstorm that happened through our area. In fact, the winds got to over 90 miles an hour. It was a fairly big storm that went through here. Central Minnesota. Who would have known we could get hurricane force winds around here? So now that that's all done, because that was Saturday when I originally filmed the intro, today is Wednesday that I'm filming the rest of it now. So Wednesday here, it is time to go through these books and see what we have. And by the way, my place is okay and everything. Unfortunately, some other homes and businesses within town here did not make it safely through that storm. Well, let's see what books we have here. And like I said, if there's one or two books here that I did not have as part of my collection, then I would have paid to buy these for $5. If all these books are books that I already have, well, I guess I got doubles of a lot of books. Maybe I'll have to sell them or something. I don't know. But let's see what we got. And I can see a lot of these look like they're going to be legends. So, and there's not going to be any rhyme or reason to the order of these. So I think we're just going to take them out and see what we got. The first one is maybe what we can do is try to line them up just a little bit so we can maybe see what we've got. I don't know if it's going to really pay here or not. These are all over the place. So I think we'll put them into piles as we go through them and see if we've got full trilogies here or not. First one, Star Wars Darksaber by Kevin Anderson. And let's see, Luke returns home with Han Solo, hoping to make contact with Obi-Wan Kenobi Instead, what they find is disturbing news. The Hutts, criminal warlords of the galaxy, are building a secretive superweapon called the Dark Saber. Boy, if I read this one, it was a long time ago. I'm going to have to go check my bookshelves upstairs, see if I've got this one or not. We also have Volume 1, Heir to the Emperor. And if I remember correctly, this was a very popular trilogy when it came out. So we got Book 1 of Heir to the Emperor. We have Book 2 of the Black Fleet Crisis, Shield of Lies. This is from 1996. That's a long time ago. I don't even remember if I read that. We have The Courtship of Princess Leia. I know I got that one. This one's from 1995, so you can see a lot of these books are probably from the 90s. We have Volume 2 of a 3-book cycle. This one is Dark Force Rising. And this is one, technically, I have actually been thinking about reading again lately, because I'm reading The Secrets of Shadows of the Empire currently. And I'm thinking it might be a good time to go back and reread this. And at some point here, in the other room here, I'm going to find my action figures from this book and series, or if I can't say series, from this media event. And when I do, I'm going to have fun showing those to you. So, Shadows of the Empire. So, guess we're off to a decent start here. What else we got here? We have The New Rebellion. And this one is from 1996 again, so we're continuing the 90s. The New Republic faces a Holocaust unequaled in galactic history. We've got here Showdown at Center Point. Han Solo battles the galaxy's most powerful weapon. 1995. We've got Ambush at Corellia. Also from 1995. And I'm thinking these two are probably from the same series. We've got here The Crystal Star. I know I have this one. Princess Leia's children have been kidnapped. Okay. Right there alone. Yeah. Remember, Princess Leia had 3 kids in the Legends. What else we got here? We have Star Wars Volume 2 of the Jedi Academy. I did read these books. I enjoyed these books. I like the Jedi Academy books. Well, we got 2 of these. Here we've got the third one. Assault at Salonia? Is that how you say that one? Assault at Salonia? Han Solo faces deception and death on a planet about to explode. So, I don't know if I had this trilogy, to tell the truth. I'll have to check that out when I get done with this. If this is a new trilogy, hey, I got my $5 back. What else we have here? We have Book 1 of the Black Fleet Crisis, Before the Storm. I don't think we had any of those yet. No, I don't think so. We have Vision of the Future. 1998. This is probably the latest book we've come across so far. And you can see that one. We must have, for some reason, laid it down like this a lot, because this one likes to be open right to that spot. We're going to have a bunch of them this time. And yes, they've all been read, and they've been read well from the looks of it. Okay, we've got the Star Wars trilogy, featuring Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, all in the same book. I've got the original books of all 3 of those movies, the original paperbacks. So that's kind of a standalone book. We have Book 3 of the Black Fleet Crisis, known as Tyrant's Test. So we've got Book 1 and we've got Book 3. We have Rebel Dawn, which is the Han Solo trilogy, Volume 3. I don't think we had any other ones of that one so far. So that's Volume 3. Well, here's Volume 2 of the Han Solo trilogy. A young Han Solo defines danger and death in an impossible quest for freedom. This one is The Hutt Gambit. So we've got 2 of those, 2 of the 3. Next, we have a book by Timothy Hahn, Spectre of the Past. The Empire stands at the brink of total chaos, of total collapse, but they have saved their most heinous plan for last. This one I do believe I read a long time ago. That cover, especially with the little alien here. I think that's a Bothan, if I remember right. I think this one I have read. What do we got here? Planet of Twilight. I believe this is a self-stand or a book by itself, not part of a trilogy or anything. Not quite sure if I have this one or not. I'm gonna have to check that out. Here we've got Han Solo Trilogy, Volume 1, The Paradise Snare. Now these 3 books, I believe I do have. And I read these a long, long time ago. Well, it was 97, 97, and 98 is the copyright for these. So it's been a little while ago. Okay, Volume 3 of a 3-book cycle, The Last Command. So that, of course, goes with Dark Force Rising. So we've got 2 and 3 of that one so far. Here we've got Volume 3 of the Jedi Academy, Champions of the Force. Now, did we have a Jedi Academy book before? Yes, right in front of me. Volume 2, right here. So we've got 3 and 2. We're probably about halfway. Okay, we've got Star Wars, I, Jedi. I think I have this book. Boy, I'm going to have to do some checking. Like I said, it's been a while since I have read some of these. And we also have Volume 1 of the Jedi Academy, Jedi Search. I believe I do have these Jedi Academy books. We have a few books here that are not part of Star Wars. Definitely not part of Star Wars. Star Trek, Gulliver's Fugitives. Star Trek, Doomsday World. Star Trek, Spartacus. Star Trek, Chains of Command. And by the way, these are all Next Generation books. Star Trek, Next Generation Imbalance. We have Star Trek Original Cast in Prime Directive. And Vendetta from the Next Generation. Well, to tell the truth, I think there are new books right here for me to read. So, hey, I made my $5 back at least. I've got some new books to read. And yes, I do like Star Trek. Well, at least I like the original trilogy, or the original show, Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and the kind of the prequel, Captain, what's his name? The stuff that went straight to Paramount Plus, I haven't seen any of that, so I can't say whether I like any of that stuff or not. And to tell the truth, I hate to say it, but I don't like Star Trek enough where I'm going to pay for Paramount Plus just to see that stuff. The next series of books here, the next 2 series, are books I have, and they are both series of books that I really liked reading. First of all, we have the Young Jedi Knights series. So now, do we have them all? That I don't know. I read these when they first came out way back when. Now, I do not remember what order these are in, but we've got Trouble on Cloud City. We have Crisis at Crystal Fleet. We have The Lost Ones. Jedi Under Siege. Diversity Alliance. Delusions of Grandeur. The Emperor's Plague. Lightsabers, and I notice this one must have really gone through the ringer because we have a hole in the back cover here. We have Darkest Night, featuring Lubaka, or Lobaka, however you want to say it. Lobaka is a Wookiee Jedi, young Wookiee Jedi. One of my favorite characters in the book. And we also have Return to Ormandel. Now, one nice thing with the Young Jedi books is they were made for younger people, not so much for adults, but they were well written enough that I enjoyed reading them. Like I said, I don't know if there's a new one in here or not. There might be. I'm not sure if I had all the Young Jedi Knight books. So that will be interesting to find out if I do or not. And let's see. Oh, we have Truce at Bakura. That was a good book too, if I remember right. And this one was from 1994. So it seems like from 94 to 98 is when a lot of these books came out. So somebody for a few years there was really into reading Star Trek, Star Wars, and Star Trek. So that's another standalone book. Now, it looks like the last of these all belong to one series. And this would be the X-Wing series. I love the X-Wing series. I couldn't wait for these books to come out. They were great books. At least from what I remember of them, they were great books. This is book number 1, X-Wing Rogue Squadron, and introduced a whole new cast of characters that we were able to follow through a 9-book series, or at least 9 books that they have here. And it basically follows Wedge Antilles with the crew that he puts together to take care of things for the New Republic. For example, it says, join the most elite fighting force in space on a do-or-die mission only the X-Wings would dare. The characters that are in these books are great. And especially a couple of them. I wish they would. You know, when Disney started making their own shows and so forth, the X-Wing series is one show or one series of books I wish they would have turned into either a TV series or a series of movies. I think these would have gone over very well. And if you've read these books, you let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or not. So anyway, here we have the first one, X-Wing Rogue Squadron. The second one is X-Wing Wedge's Gambit. Then we have X-Wing, the Krytos Trap. Then the Bacta War. Wraith Squadron. Iron Fist. Solo Command. Isard's Revenge, or Isard's Revenge. She was an Imperial commander, if I remember right. And number 9, Starfighters of Adumar. Like I said, this was a really good book series. I did enjoy it. And to tell the truth, every time I go into that room and see my books up there, these books always catch my eye, and at some point I know I'm going to have to reread them. Well, that empties the box. There might be 1, maybe 2 Star Wars books here that I do not have and have not read. As far as the Star Trek books, I think those are all new. I don't think I've read any of those. I was big into Star Trek more in the 1980s, into the 1990s a little bit, and then I kind of got away from reading Star Trek. Too much Star Wars coming out in the 1990s. Suddenly the expanded universe was all over the place with books coming out every year and multiple books coming out every year, not just 1 or 2. So it's hard to keep track, and it's even worse now, I feel. And plus, I just don't seem to have the time to read like I used to. I think I'm involved with too many things, which is why I didn't get around to finishing this video until 3 days after I started it. Well, what do you think? Did I do well here for $5? Only $5? So basically I spent a dime per book. And like I said, I know most of these I do have. And it's also making me think I need to go back and reread a couple series. How many books do you have from the old expanded line, otherwise known as Legends, now that Disney bought the Lucasfilm? Did you read a lot of them back then? I know if you're younger, you probably didn't even know about most of these books. But I can tell you, a lot of these books were pretty good. There's a few stinkers, you could say, within them. But overall, I've enjoyed reading these books through that time period. Well, I think we're going to have to call it quits here. So before we go, I ask you to once again, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of this collection. Let me know what you think of these books if you've read them. Also, don't forget to like this video, hit that subscription bell and help the channel grow and get pushed out to more people. And of course, until next time, may the force be with you and keep collecting. Well, if you've stuck with this video until now, you're going to find out which books I did not have as part of my collection. And yes, there were a few other than for the Star Trek ones. So first of all, I discovered 2 of the Jedi Knight books I did not have as part of my collection. So I'll be able to read Crisis at Crystal Reef and Trouble on Cloud City. These are 2 books I did not have. I have not read these yet. So 2 young Jedi novels to read. I also found out I did not have I, Jedi. And, you know, the book cover did not even ring a bell, so I kind of figured this one might be new. So yes, I do have a new book there to read. This one surprises me. I did not have The Truce at Bacula, or Bacura. I thought I had this one, but I guess I don't. So I'll have a new book there to read. Of course, I did not have all 3 books in one. I have each one individually from when they first came out, but I don't have the trilogy in one book. So that's a new one for the collection. And these 2 I do have, but I have the hardcover versions of it instead of the paperback versions. So I'll probably keep these just because I didn't have the paperback versions. So there we go. I have 5 new books to read, so the $5 was well worth it.